morning. What a wonderful day, and what a wonderful park. Isn't this great? What a testimony for all the people involved. My wife just reminded me to take my sunglasses off, so now I have to squint. But anyway, what a testimony to a neighborhood that the city has not forgotten it. That this neighborhood, you know, when I sit down with Todd and I sit down with Maurice and we talk about projects like this, we have a vision for the future. We have a vision where this neighborhood that will continue to prosper and continue to bring in people who own homes and people who can have affordable housing. And that's what this is all about. This is about the future of this neighborhood. Now, on behalf of the mayor and the city commission, I want to welcome everyone to this grand opening and dedication of Gussie McMillon Park. I would like to recognize a few people. I'd like to recognize all of our city commissioners that are here, Paul Lee and Larry Matthews. Stand up, please. I'd like to ask all of the members of the Park and Recreation Board stand up and be recognized. I would also like to just name a few of the people involved at the city, not the people, the departments involved in making this park a reality. We had the Planning and Development Department. They are the ones who worked with the Community Development Block Grant. They're the ones who did most of the planning on this, along with our Public Information Officer. Other departments involved were Public Works, General Services, obviously Leisure Services, Dothan Utilities. So this was a citywide effort to make the dream of this park a reality. So for all those departments, I'd like to ask everyone to give them a big hand. And now I'd like to ask the Pastor Noble of Patterson Street Free Will Baptist Church to come forward and give us the prayer.
Shall we bow our heads? Oh God, our help in ages past, our hope for years to come, our shelter from the stormy blast, and our eternal home. We come on this beautiful and glorious day to say thank you. Thank you for affording us this opportunity to memory of one who have led a beautiful life of leadership in this community, and she's being remembered in such a profound way. We thank you for our government officials who had open hearts and minds, and we ask now thy blessing upon the citizens in this community, that we will always cherish this hallowed spot. Bless this program as it goes forth. These and all other blessings we ask in our Son Jesus' name, and the people of God said, amen.
Okay. How many are the old East Highland elementary students? Would you stand? Okay, some of them can't stand, but they want to, because it's been 60-some years since they were here, and they were old then. We come today to dedicate this park as a standing tribute to the love and legacy of Gussie McMillon, and in recognition of the relentless struggle of black teachers through the years who strove to provide a quality education for the young minds that they taught. Ms. McMillon insisted on dignity, decorum, and personal achievement. Although we were all in poverty, none of us thought we were poor. We didn't know we were poor because we were taught that we were somebody. Harding Carter stated, that there are only two lasting bequests that we can give our children: their roots and their wings. We were given our roots because we were taught our history and our heritage. The 28th day of May was special and celebrated for us. Is there anybody here who remembers celebrating the 28th day of May at East Highland Elementary School? It was a special day, and not just because it was usually the last day of school. For those of you who do not know, the Emancipation Proclamation ending slavery was effective on January 1st, 1863. Thank you, Ed Bond. But it did not take effect in Alabama until when? The 28th of May. And therefore, we always celebrated that day. It did not take Jesse Jackson to tell the children of East Highland that we are somebody. We knew it from the day we stepped into Miss McMillon's classroom, because she treated us as somebody. Few of us today can remember the teaching methods of Miss McMillon, but we all remember her and can now recognize how she empowered us to spread our wings and look beyond Acid Plant Hill to achieve our dreams. East Highland students have gone all over the world and have done marvelous things because of what we were instilled. We were taught that the only way somebody can be better than you is if they act better. And I'll be the first to confess, I've met a lot of folk who were better than I, but it wasn't race or gender. It was because they acted better than I. Posterity and history are irrevocably intertwined in the present. No coherent vision of the future can exist without an affinity for the past and cognizance of the lives of those who came before us. We must remember that we too are the ancestors of those yet unborn, and we owe it to them to leave a heritage of which they can be as proud as we are, of that which our forebears have handed down to us. When I think of Miss McMillon, the poem of Maya Angelou kept going through my head. Now you understand just why my head's not bowed. I don't shout or jump about or have to talk real loud. When you see me passing, it ought to make you proud. I say it's in the click of my heels, the bend of my hair, the palm of my hand, and the need of my care, 'cause I'm a phenomenal woman. In the days, months, and years ahead, when somebody asks you, who was Gussie McMillon, you can simply say, she was a phenomenal woman who gave black children their roots so that they could spread their wings. This dedication today is to remember, learn from, and honor the legacy of a phenomenal woman, Gussie McMillon. My time is up. Thank you for yours.
It's hard to follow Peggy James, one of my longtime mentors in Dothan, Alabama. What an outstanding woman in her own right. On behalf of the Leisure Services staff, I want to formally express how excited we are to welcome the Gussie McMillon Park into our leisure services, family, of quality parks and recreation facilities. The care and love that was put into the creation and naming of this park exemplifies the respect that our city will forever hold for Gussie McMillon and her legacy. Of course, being a female manager myself, I'm very appreciative of the significance of the position that Mrs. McMillon held as the first female principal in the Dothan City school system. She paved the way for opportunities for women like myself who came along decades later. But when we were planning this park and we were getting ready to put it all together and talking about the naming of this park, I called on people like Peggy James and Mr. Ed Vaughn, the Men's Civic Club, that helped research the naming of this park, and I'm forever grateful to them for the research that they provided us. But back to Mrs. McMillon, she had a great history in Dothan, and there's a short biography of her life, a very short biography, mind you, because she did a lot of phenomenal things. There's a short biography of her life in the program, and I would refer you to that, and it's also on the plaque in the front of the park. And I would just like to read it to you very quickly. I know that y'all are hot out there. But this park is dedicated in memory of Gussie McMillon, educator and former principal of East Highland Elementary School, formerly located on these grounds. A graduate of the famed Tuskegee Institute in 1929, she began teaching in Dothan in 1932 at the North Highland School, and in 1938 became the first African-American female principal in Dothan. Miss McMillon retired from the Dothan City school system in 1965. She hosted George Washington Carver in her home for the first National Peanut Festival in 1938 and hosted her friend Mary McLeod Bethune, the founder of Bethune-Cookman College, in 1955. Born in 1890 in Eufaula, Alabama, she lived all of her adult life in Dothan, where she died in 1982. And I so wish I had gotten a chance to know her. At this time, it's indeed my very special honor to prepare us for the ribbon cutting ceremony by recognizing her daughter, Jimmy Lee Baker, and her granddaughter, Gussie Etta Baker, I think better known as Handy, is that right? And will the two of you please stand? And I would like for y'all to give them a big round of applause.
Good morning. On behalf of my grandmother and my family, we would like to say thank you. Thank you so very much for being thoughtful of her. And as she would say and sing, his eye is on the sparrow, and I know that he watches over me. So I know that she's looking down at us right now and smiling and saying thank you. And on behalf of our family, we thank you very much.
And we have a little presentation on behalf of the city. And Mike, do you want to make that presentation? And then at the same time, if I could get the city commissioners, the recreation board members, to come on, start making their way up on the stage. But y'all give them a round of applause. We're making a presentation on behalf of the city to these fine ladies. And then if I could get some of you gentlemen to move the podium for me. Just slide it over this way.
On with the rest of the day. Mr. West was pointed out the different departments involved, but I'd like to point out a few of the people that were involved in that. He brought the vision to us. We had Val Harris and some other folks that provided the brains to get the thing actually approved, and Jerry Corbin's crew to actually make the design happen. It's a long way from paper to concrete. And lastly, I'd like to thank people on my staff who made it possible. Maurice Head, who's around here somewhere, he coordinated all of this, as well as Cassandra Milton, the city, who put this thing together. So, you want to do that?
Oh, no, baby.
You want to do that real quick?
I'd just like to say I recognize the students of East Highland. I did not recognize some of the teachers who work with Mrs. McMillon. I know 2 are here today, and I think we need to give them an applause. Miss Clara Yeverton and Miss Laureen Lee, stand up. They are part of the McMillon legacy.
Thank you, Miss James. Our entertainment, we've got a lot to do. We have community-oriented booths over here on this side. We'll have a little train running around the sidewalk here. We've got some kids' activities over here to the right of me. There's some food back here under the big pavilion, restrooms in the back, in the porta potties. Several folks out here on the street to showcase this various community activities. Please take advantage and talk to these folks. See what's going on in your community. This is your park. We want you to enjoy it. We think that this is a culmination of 3 years of work for us, and we are now providing it, or giving it to you. So without further ado, our entertainment this afternoon is Tribe of One. They're a great jazz band. I hope you enjoy it. And I guess as soon as we make our way off the stage, we'll get started with the afternoon activities. Thank you so much for coming. We appreciate it. Again, your park, congratulations.